Welcome again, everyone, to DC Wood Reviews the Arrowverse. We are now on episode 14, and today we're covering Supergirl Season 2. Sitrep, I've been very busy with work, been very busy with family, been busy doing artwork, getting ready to do some one-act plays with theatre very soon, and me and my family have been mad busy painting and redecorating at the moment. In terms of Arrowverse viewing, I finished watching The Flash Season 6, which was absolutely great. I've also started working my way through Supergirl Season 5 now. I purchased Legends of Tomorrow Season 5 recently. I finished watching that this last weekend. I'll get on to reviewing that in due time. Now I'm back on intended reviewing schedule with Supergirl Season 2. After a successful run on CBS for its first season, CBS chose not to renew the show. However, the CW did, and Supergirl Season 2 premiered on 10th of October 2016 and ran for 22 episodes, with the finale airing on 22nd of May 2017. Despite a massive drop in viewership from changing networks, the CW does not have the same level of exposure that CBS does, hence the massive drop in viewership. Season 2, nonetheless, it still remained a massive success, with the ratings averaging well over 3 million viewers a week on the CW. That's still impressive. When we start Season 2, Supergirl had saved the world from Non-Indigo and the threat of Myriad. Kara Danvers has established herself as big a hero as her more famous cousin, who now comes by to say hello in Season 2. Kara has family, friends, allies, a job she loves, and is finally together with James Olsen. But in the aftermath of Myriad, new threats arise to threaten Supergirl and the DEO. Jeremiah Danvers is revealed to still be alive, and an ancient rivalry from the stars will drastically rattle Kara's world in ways she never conceived. In my old rankings for the Arrowverse, I'd rated Supergirl Season 2 7th overall. Season 2 has been outranked by newer seasons since then, but this outing still remains a terrific one, with lots to indulge in. Supergirl Season 1, as I've said before, was a great Arrowverse initiation for the Girl of Steel. Yes, it lacked consistency, but it more than compensated for that with tremendous heart and soul, its charm and innocence, a fantastic cast, and several classic episodes which still rank among the best in the show's history. A lot of Supergirl fans have debated which was better, Season 1 or Season 2. For me, it's Season 2. Right away, there's this different vibe. It feels like the show is much more at home on the CW than it did on CBS, and it's reflected in the cast and the writing. Supergirl Season 2 is much more consistent than the first season, with a stronger run of episodes, a better story structure, overall narrative, superb development for all the cast of characters, and many amazing changes which allow the show to grow and thrive creatively. Supergirl Season 2 immediately gets off to a perfect start with the season premiere, The Adventures of Supergirl. To this day, The Adventures of Supergirl remains my absolute favourite episode of the whole show. It's truly one of the most perfect episodes in the entire Arrowverse, and you can quote me on that. The biggest reason why is that we finally get to see the Arrowverse debut of Superman. After so many shadowy allusions, Facebook chats between Kara and Clark, we actually get to see the Man of Steel on Supergirl, and my God, is it amazing. Tyler Hoechlin is perfectly cast as Clark Kent Superman. He truly understands and reflects everything that makes the character arguably the greatest superhero of all time. As soon as Clark appears, his mannerisms, his demeanour, his sheer likability, and how he changes into the Superman persona, it reminded me instantly of why I loved Superman so much when I was a child. All due respect to Tim Daly, George Newbern, and Tom Welling, Tyler Hoechlin is my favourite Superman since the late great Christopher Reeve. Oh, and of course, all due respect to Dean Cain as well. Tyler Hoechlin is my favourite Superman since Christopher Reeve. The costume design is perfect. The presentation is faultless. Tyler has such chemistry with Melissa Benoist, and I love how they're presented as equals. No one outshines the other. How both Kara and Clark are proud to fight alongside each other, how they're able to hang out as family. It's true to the comics. It's true to how it should be. And it's one of the major reasons why I favour the Arrowverse instead of the DC Extended Universe overall. The TV showrunners understand and respect the DC source material so much more than the movie makers, with the exception of, obviously, Wonder Woman and Aquaman. They were great films. But everything else, no, the Arrowverse is much better than the DC Extended Universe. And even after the season gets off to such a 5-star kickoff, Supergirl Season 2 doesn't lose its way. It thrives. Again, there's so much wonderful growth, and the transition from Seasons 1 to 2 allows Supergirl to become a much better show than it had been on CBS. Several of the tedious characters and unnecessary subplots from the previous season have thankfully been ditched, and the cast remain as impeccable as ever. Melissa Benoist continues to blossom as Kara and Supergirl. No longer is she tediously pining after James Olsen, Mehcad Brooks, and the writers realise it was a waste of time when they ditched the relationship. Kara is no longer Cat Grant's personal assistant and further follows in her cousin's footsteps as a news reporter for Catgo. She continues to learn, grow, and make a difference as Kara Danvers, not just Supergirl, and Melissa's charm and charisma remains as infectious as ever. New faces are added to the cast as well, with the biggest being Chris Wood as Mon-El, the Prince of Daxam, a rival planet of Krypton that was devastated by Krypton's destruction. The character, in this season anyway, starts as a spoilt, cantankerous brat who Kara takes upon herself to educate and train, but Chris is such a charismatic and talented actor that he proves a welcome addition to the cast. He and Melissa have immediate chemistry and it blossoms into a romance, but is so much better than the forced Kara James love subplot in Season 1. It's no surprise that Melissa and Chris are now married in real life, as there's a genuine bond between them, and it translates perfectly onto screen, which allows both Kara and Mon-El to grow into even stronger characters. Perhaps the MVP of Supergirl Season 2 is Kyla Lee for her role as Alex Danvers. Alex had already proven herself to be a strong, well-developed character in Season 1 as Kara's adoptive sister, DEO agent, but here, Alex receives even more amazing development when she struggles with her sexuality. In the episode Changing, which is another of my favourite episodes, Alex finally realises that she's gay and comes out to Kara. Now, this could have been such a forced, ham-fisted subplot, but the coming out storyline is handled with such maturity that it makes Alex an even stronger character than before. After looking out for Kara so much, Alex is now the one in need for support and mentoring from her sister, who accepts Alex's coming out and gives her all the support she needs. It's one of the show's most touching and well-executed moments, and Kyla Lee more than rises to the occasion in the storyline. She also has fantastic chemistry with her new girlfriend, Detective Maggie Sawyer, played by Floriana Lima, who's a terrific character / badass in her own right, and Alex's quest to find her father and her struggles as a DEO agent, Kara's sister, just make Alex's storyline even better. Kyla truly proves what an asset she is to Supergirl. What else? Jean also gets a great storyline this season as Miss Martian, Megan Morez, Sharon Leal enters his life. Wynn leaves Catco to join the DEO in a brilliant career move. Lex Luthor's sister, Lena, the wonderful Katie McGrath, joins the cast and, in an ironic twist, becomes a great friend to both Kara and Supergirl. We get treated to much improved villains in Season 2 overall. We get Metallo, we get Roulette, we even get The Parasite, beautifully executed in both writing and CGI. Livewire is back. Brenda Strong is terrific as Lillian Luthor, Lex and Lena's mother, and the leader of Cadmus, who serves as the main antagonist for the first half of season 2. We get Linda Carter, Wonder Woman herself. She makes a few appearances as the US president in this show. And as another bonus, we even get Terry Hatcher, Lois Lane from Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, Mon-El's mother, and Queen Rhea of the Daxamites, who serves as the main antagonist for the season's second half. Despite the show's reduced budget and having to move to Vancouver instead of Los Angeles, Supergirl somehow looks even better visually in season 2 than it did in season 1 overall. The money is used so much more sensibly here, with even better looking special effects and much better choreography for fight scenes. There are so many elating moments in Supergirl Season 2 involving Kara's heroism, and so many amazing episodes like The Last Children of Krypton, Changing, Exodus, and an absolutely epic finale in Nevertheless She Persisted, which features arguably the show's greatest fight scene ever in Superman vs. Supergirl, a titanic showdown that lives up to the hype. And that precedes the epic Daxamite invasion and a tragic ending that changes Supergirl's world forever. While Supergirl Season 2 is a definite improvement over Season 1, I still felt like the show had yet to realise its full potential. There are still issues with problematic characters. Sadly, that is still James Olsen. That stupid love quadrangle with Kara, Wynn, James and Lucy was tedious to sit through in season 1. And sadly, Mehcad Brooks receives an even worse storyline to deal with when James becomes the Guardian. Now, I don't have a problem with supporting characters taking on heroic identities. It's been done on The Flash and Arrow for years. The problem here with James becoming the Guardian, it just feels like the character's got nothing better to do. James's motivations for becoming Guardian are just contrived, and I don't feel like James proves himself once as a hero. When I think back to, say, Laurel Lance, the Black Canary, and Ray Palmer, the Atom, both those characters were so well established, given pure motivation to become superheroes, and their struggles and triumphs ultimately made them true heroes. Exemplary success stories. With James Olsen's Guardian, you don't get anything like that. And it's such a shame that an actor as great as Mehcad didn't get the material he deserved. Other negatives are definitely David Harewood, double rolling as Hank Henshaw, the cyborg Superman. Now, initially this was a surprise twist. We assumed the real Henshaw was dead, only for it to be revealed that he'd been brought back as the cyborg Superman, like in the comics. Unfortunately, the twist's impact is soon undone when you realise that this Hank Henshaw is just as one-dimensional as ever. He's just a glorified stooge for Lillian Luthor. He's way more effective than he has any right to be, and the design just looks utterly stupid. Nothing at all like the terrific cyborg Superman from the comics. This is one of the worst Arrowverse villains ever devised. The only villain that's worse than the cyborg Superman here is the stupid bug-eyed bandit. Another issue is that Supergirl Season 2 doesn't get to play a vital role in the Invasion crossover. Granted, Supergirl herself does play a major part in Invasion. She's arguably the best part of Invasion, and the duet musical with The Flash is a joy to behold, but Supergirl Season 2 just feels like a lead-in for the other shows, and that's annoying. I can understand why that was the case, because obviously the show had transitioned from CBS to CW schedule, wasn't quite ready to fit in with the timing of the other shows just yet. It would do the following year, but nevertheless, it's an unfortunate issue, which means the show suffers because of it. Also, the Cadmus story arc, it's just it's a great story arc for the first season, but the fate of Cadmus is left up in the air, and the payoff to Jeremiah Danvers, Dean Cain is back again in the role. His fate, it doesn't get resolved properly here. It's just left up all in the air, despite Exodus being an absolutely brilliant episode. And it just gets shunted and left up in, and does get talked about in season 3, and it sort of gets touched upon in season 4, but no, it just feels like another real missed opportunity here. Finally, Callista Flockhart as Cat Grant. It's such a shame that we have to say goodbye to such a strong, wonderful character in season 2. I completely understand and respect Callista's reasons for not wanting to film the show in Canada and be away from her family for so many months. It still saddens me that she left. Supergirl hasn't been the same without her. However, Kat does get to shine brilliantly in the first 2 episodes of season 2, and she returns for the finale as well, which is also wonderful. Callista makes her mark, is used perfectly, and her exit is given the grace it deserves. I just wish she was still around. The cons, however, aren't as glaring for season 2 as they were in season 1. Some fans say that Supergirl moving to the CW ruined it. I vehemently disagree. It's the reverse. Supergirl became a much better show by moving to the CW, and it would get progressively better with each season before it creatively peaked with season 4. Looking back on Supergirl season 2, it remains lighter, more optimistic and fun than most other superhero shows, and it's even better than it was before. It still stands as a terrific outing, made even more amazing by Superman, new faces, and Melissa continuing to shine as the Girl of Steel. Overall rating, 8 out of 10. So, what did you guys think of Supergirl Season 2? Please discuss in the comments. Please click like and subscribe. Join us again next time for a review of Legends of Tomorrow Season 2. Then the next episode we'll be reviewing Vixen Season 2. See you all again, guys. As always, stay safe.